Section 2. Do you give a bleep?
Section 2.
What is do you give a bleep? I always explain it. Your turn.
Do you give a bleep is the section where Dawn makes me go out and find random, meaningless news stories to
generate search traffic.
Yeah, basically.
It's clickbait.
That's the nice way to put it.
It's clickbait. We're trying to build an audience for the label. We're currently, I'm happy to report, at 72 subscribers. And we're on episode 7. So we're doing about 10 a week right now, which is good. But I am just about every one of them I have personally met or I know, and I say, hey, please go subscribe to this. So I joke that I'm going to start leaving my friends alone when I hit 100. So share this with someone, help them get subscribed, and help us get to our 100, because there's things that happen on the back end when we hit to 100 that is important. So what's our first do you give a bleep? Because I don't give a bleep this week.
Leonard Cohen.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like The Future is a very appropriate song for this moment.
Right, and I'm just going, thanks, Trump. It's the best. He was the best.
Yeah.
He wrote Hallelujah. I mean, if anybody other than Bob Dylan was going to get the Nobel Prize, and we talked about that in the previous video. Stephen, put up your left hand, and yeah, there'll be a card right there to us talking about the Dylan stuff, but Leonard Cohen probably also deserved it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's why they hadn't given it to a songwriter up until that point, was because it's so subjective.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Cohen was the best. So I give a bleep. Do you give a bleep?
I certainly give a bleep.
Yeah. How about you, Ben? You give a bleep?
Oh, of course. Leonard Cohen was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steven, you give a bleep?
I think a voice like his only comes along once in a generation.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that his voice really jumps out in the pantheon of great vocalists as having just a unique quality to it. My first exposure was Natural Born Killers.
Okay.
I had never heard of him before. I saw that movie, which I absolutely love, and the first track from him comes on, I'm just like, what is this unearthly creature that is singing right now? And I went down that rabbit hole and never looked back.
Right. And I will say this on Get Off My Lawn Records. There's now a contact link on getoffmylawnrecords.com, and you can get in touch with me. Like if anybody's making a short film and they want to use their music in their film, we can work that out in a really sustainable way. Because I know I've made a movie on a budget of $8,000. I know how that goes. So get in touch if you want to use the songs, and we'll figure that out. Yeah, Leonard Cohen, man. So we all do you give a bleep?
Of course I give a bleep.
You got to start doing the ones where we don't give bleeps.
I tried that,
I think it needs to be a nice balance.
and you basically acted frustrated with me. So you get the ones where I give a bleep, and I don't actually care whether you give a bleep or not.
All right, that makes sense. But I'm just trying to do search traffic. All right, what's next?
Robert Vaughn also died this week.
Thanks, Trump.
See, as much as I hate Trump for many reasons, I actually don't see the causation line between him and Cohen or Robert Vaughn.
Right, and there was no correlation for most of the thanks Obamas. So I'm just trying to be funny. Somebody found that funny. I've done it twice now, so it's no longer funny. Okay. Yeah. Message received. Robert Vaughn.
Robert Vaughn died Friday morning from acute leukemia at the age of 83.
And we've established here before, if I don't know who this is, I don't give a bleep because I can't, right? I have limited. Who is Robert Vaughn? Robert
Vaughn was in the original The Man from U.N.C.L.E. He was nominated for an Oscar for The Young Philadelphians. He was also in The Magnificent Seven, Bullet, The Towering Inferno, and he was the villain in Superman 3.
That's right.
That's
Robert Vaughn.
Is that the one with Richard Pryor in it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Robert Vaughn has the best villain plot ever.
We should
Superman 3.
We should know we've all got a decade on Ben, so he's going to be hilarious to us. But even Ben's like, yeah, Superman 3.
Yeah.
Well, Superman 3 is the first movie I remember seeing in a theater.
Yeah.
Which profoundly dates me.
Mine was Jurassic Park.
Good God, I'm
Jurassic Park.
No, we're the same age. I just didn't go to a movie theater till I was like 8. Yeah. You have any Robert Vaughn thoughts, memories? Are you familiar with his work?
No, not really.
Then you don't give a bleep.
I don't give a bleep.
Yeah. And don't write him hate letters. He doesn't deserve them. I give a bleep.
Yeah, he was in at least the third best Superman movie.
Yeah. That's right.
I would totally agree with Ben on that. I think Superman 3 is an unheralded classic.
Fair enough. Just like the Mighty Ducks 3.
Right. But I just think that we have to have respect for a villain whose plot is to take over an artificially intelligent weather satellite and use it to destroy the world's coffee crop so that he alone can control the coffee trade.
Hey. Nolan Bushnell actually, in the Atari days, Nolan Bushnell actually wound up with a monopoly on microprocessors. Because he had monopolized the entire supply. He was buying them so fast. Nobody else could get their hands on microprocessors. Capitalism, so much fun. All right, what's next?
One last thing on Robert Vaughn. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is a great show. It's kind of been lost to history because it's from the 60s. It's a long time ago. There was recently a movie version of it that was lost to cinema because it came out at sort of an in-between time and they really didn't market it very well, but it was awesome. So if you haven't seen any Man from U.N.C.L.E., go check it out. Totally worth your time.
And I'm tasking you with then getting on the comment of this video, and getting on the comment section and leave a comment with a link to an example of it so that we can show that underneath. I'm not gonna. The card space is limited, but let's leave one in the comments and I'll pin it to the top or something.
All right, that's doable.
All right, cool. All right, what's next?
Russell Brand is a father.
For the first time?
Uh-huh.
No. I'm not even buying that in the least. No. It didn't take him that long.
For the first time anybody could prove.
For the first time anybody can prove. Okay, way to go, Russell Brand.
Yes.
I will never know his kid. I will never meet Russell Brand. Russell Brand doesn't know who I am. He doesn't care who I am. The Reggie Watts follows me on Google+. And he followed me first.
Hey.
Anyway, so I don't give a bleep.
Okay.
Josh, you give a bleep? Nah. Ben? Nothing.
Kids in general, but especially his.
Will you give a bleep when I have kids?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure you'd be great at it.
So let's not kids in general, but kids you will never know. Exactly. Do you give a bleep?
I give a bleep mainly because he's planning to raise it as gender neutral.
You know,
I think biology's going to have a few things to say about that.
Biology's going to have a lot to say for it, and I saw a video on Facebook today, and it was a mother, and the kid must have been 6 years old, and I guess the school had some kind of mock election, and the kid voted Trump, and the mother was so pissed off that she packed the kid a bag and was kicking him out of the house. Not really, but she was trying to scare him, right? Like, now you get to leave because you're not part of my family anymore. So when it comes to parenting, everybody's doing the best they can, but damn, do people let their personal politics get involved way too much.
Yeah.
Way too much. Gender neutral, the kid's gonna have a gender.
Yeah, but the kid can pick their own gender rather than having one forced upon them.
Hey,
raising your kid gender neutral is basically not telling them what toys they can and can't play with because you're a boy or you're a girl or whatever. It's here, have baseball gloves and dump trucks and Barbie dolls.
Well, then I was raised gender neutral.
Yeah.
Were you really raised gender neutral?
Yeah.
Or
I played with Barbies.
At what age?
3, 4.
You sure?
Yeah, it was preschool. I remember. Well, I remember my parents reacting to it.
I was definitely not raised gender neutral. And neither were you, man. Come on.
You sure?
We are both products of the patriarchy.
That's okay.
Whether it was conscious or not, whether there was a moment where you said, "Mommy, can I get the doll?" and she said, "No, you have to buy the G.I. Joe," which is what happened to me.
I love my G.I. Joes.
Well, for me, actually, it was My Little Pony. I wanted that My Little Pony castle because it was enormous and awesome.
I think the My Little Pony might actually be in frame. I love Rainbow Dash.
Huh.
Yeah.
But there was no doubt that I was funneled into the blue column and girls were funneled into the pink column.
Well, you
And-
were also raised in a cult.
Well, that's true.
So-
but beyond the cult I was raised in, the broader culture of America in the 80s when I grew up definitely had specific roles that the genders were meant to play. And we were never given a choice. And there's definitely an argument to be had against that.
Hey, you know me.
Yeah.
Love who you're going to love, right?
Yeah.
The problem is the biological gender has, like, on a policy level, has effects on birth rates. And if you look at what's going on in Japan, they have an aging population because the birth rate was low after World War II for really understandable reasons. So, I don't know. On this one, raise your kid how you're going to raise them. You know? I'm not sure I would be weird about it if I had a boy, if they were playing with a Barbie, if I'd be weird about it. I'd be more weird about the fact that they wanted to buy something from a transnational corporation. I'd be like, here, play with a guitar. Here, let me make you a doll.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know. All right. So, you give a bleep.
I give a bleep.
Fair enough. What's next?
Fans can now record their own vocals at Paisley Park.
Really?
Princess
How much does it cost? No. How much does it cost?
Paisley Park opened as a museum in October,
Yeah.
and they plan to offer new themed fan packages through March 31st.
Right.
Starting December 1st, on Thursdays, VIP tour ticket holders can record vocals over a short segment of a Prince song
Oh,
in the Studio B control room
no.
and take the live mix home. And the VIP tickets cost $100.
I'm okay with the $100. I'm okay with that, but I'm going, can I get in there for a day? Let's do a Freeform Fridays up in Paisley Park. I would be down. We could crowdfund it. We should get in touch
be
with
awesome.
Paisley Park. I wonder if they would let us in on like an off, like when it was normally closed. If we could hire a local decent engineer and get in there and do that, we could probably crowdfund it at some point. As we build the audience. So tell a friend about what we're doing so that maybe we can actually go do something really wild and cool like that.
They're also doing Friday evenings Paisley Park After Dark dance parties. Saturday evenings are Prince movies and rare performance footage.
Where does the money go?
And Sundays are the Brunch Experience VIP tour, where you get a meal in Prince's private MPG music club.
You know, as much as Prince railed against the music industry his whole life, right? He was really the guy. He was going, my contract was BS. They really ripped him off, as they did so many artists of that era. And right after his death, holy cow, they are turning it into a theme park.
Yeah.
Hey, they waited a week.
Oh, a week. A week. I give a bleep that I'm not entirely cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it turning into a museum.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear the entrance
Yeah.
is very high for the museum.
Mm.
And I guess, he's got that room full of doves. The whole place is wired for sound. He really could record the sound of doves crying if he really wanted. But I give a bleep that they're charging so much, that they've so over-commercialized this from Prince, one of the least commercially centric guys his whole career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven, you give a bleep?
I'm not bothered as much by the rank commercialization just because I've accepted that as inevitable. Like, that will happen in a capitalist society with everything all the time, no matter what. I go to Disneyland, they're going to try to rape my wallet over and over and over again every second I'm there. I still have a great time. But
That's
in
why
the
I don't go
broader
to
social
Disneyland.
sense,
No, you don't
I
go to
think it's
Disneyland 'cause you're
awesome
cheap.
that Paisley Park is now sort of a nicely diverse antidote to Graceland. Like, it's always bothered me that Graceland is sort of the only major music artist home that's been turned into a pilgrimage site.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's very appropriate to have someone from such a dramatically different place in the music spectrum to have an equally, gaudy and kind of awesome mansion we can all go and see. I
Yeah.
think that's cool.
Yeah.
Though, Motown, isn't Motown in Detroit, isn't that a museum now? Isn't Studio A museum? Somebody leave me a comment. I could have swore that the Motown building in Detroit, where they cut all of those hits, is a functional museum.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure there's other sites like that, but that's around an entity with a huge array of artists, whereas Graceland it's Elvis.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anyone that wasn't a white Southern rocker that got that kind of elevation, and I think Prince really deserves it. And the fact that Paisley Park is a museum and a gift shop, in a weird sort of fucked up way, I think actually elevates his legacy.
Please don't swear. There's probably children listening.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
It's that, but I mean, hell, everything I'm saying they can hear from their president-elect, so...
Yeah, well...
Not like they're going to hear it here for the first time.
Yeah, it's over. We all just need to focus on the next one.
We're not talking about it.
Exactly. We had a big, long discussion downstairs. We have a diverse array of ideas in the room, and we all figured out how to come together in this time where some people are very upset. So I will say this is the time to go talk to the people who voted for the other person. Understand what they're about, understand why they did it, and you'll find that everybody's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, because they're using a different set of facts from you, which means you have to be willing to question your own set of facts. And until you can agree on the facts, there's no moving forward.
There you go. So, Ben, you give a bleep about Paisley Park. Are you a Prince fan?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of curious because I really do like Prince. I really love his music, and I think it was really important. And I definitely feel what you're saying is, if there are gonna be artists that we kind of memorialize in that way, Prince is certainly a good one.
As would be Miles Davis.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think this is all a little ridiculous. Just in the money thing, it's like, I mean, at my core beliefs is if people think that's worth their money, then like why not? Who am I to say that it's wrong? I personally don't get it. I don't get the way we kind of I am a huge music fan, but I think people take it to a crazy place sometimes, and it's like, they take it to like a personality place, or they like really deeply identify with this person in a way that goes like way beyond the music, and that's cool, but at the same time it's kind of weird. And it does leave the opportunity for whoever's in charge of his estate right now to just cash in on that. But then again, if people are willing to part with their money for that sort of thing, then, more power to them.
Yeah.
So I guess I give like half a bleep, maybe.
Okay.
Solid half bleep.
It's like an indifferent bleep.
Yeah. It's like a meh bleep.
Josh, you give a bleep?
I suppose so. A bit of a bleep. Yeah, I mean,
it'd be nice to see it.
It would be nice to see it. I certainly don't have the funds to spare on something like that.
That's why you're all going to buy his album.
Frivolous.
You're going to buy his album, and then what we'll do, if we can sell a bunch of copies of your album, we'll send you up there. We'll send Steven with the cameras, and we'll just we'll just film you reacting. We'll make a little mini doc out of it.
Nice.
So, yeah, all right. What's next?
Okay, well, as I understand it, this video is supposed to be released on the 14th, correct?
What day is it? It's the 12th? Yeah, it'll be released on the 14th.
Okay. November 14th is both National Pickle Day and National Spicy Guacamole Day.
I totally don't give a bleep. I'm so glad we're not breaking this up this time. Nobody gives a bleep about National Pickle.
Who is coming up with these things?
You know what? It's Congress. I blame Congress.
Don't they have something better to do?
No, apparently not.
Make up completely irrelevant, non-functional holidays.
And how many of these people got reelected? Right? How many of these people got reelected? Marco Rubio won a seat again.
Did he really?
Yeah. And so I just don't give a bleep. National whatever day. Ben, you give a bleep?
I personally think it's shameful that the fat cats up in their ivory towers in the big pickle industry are forcing these holidays upon us.
Damn you, Big Pickle.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, okay, I am a fan of both all sorts of pickles and spicy guacamole.
Okay.
So I will be celebrating those days quite heartily. But I didn't need my Congress people to tell me that. To go eat pickles and spicy guacamole.
And by the way, unless this was approved by Congress, it's BS, and we should not let these We should not let people declare things days unless Congress approves it. If it's not, then leave a comment and let me know. Either I'm pissed off at the congressman or I'm pissed off at Congress for not saying, no, we're the only ones that get to declare national days.
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that Congress did not declare it National Pickle Day.
All right, well, then I am declaring the 15th National Get Off My Lawn Records Day. National Get Off My Lawn Day. You go out to your front lawn, you see your neighbor, and you yell at him. You say, get off my lawn. And that'll be National Get Off My Lawn Day.
I can get behind that.
All right, spread the word.
Dig.
Yeah.
Spread the word. November 15th, National Get Off My Lawn Day. All right, what's next? Escapist fun.
Though I would like to point out that on behalf of non-spicy guacamole, I'm
I forgot to
offended
ask you.
by the elevation of the spicy, but whatever.
Every day is pickle and spicy guacamole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really in your heart.
Yeah.